All right, race fans, welcome back. We are now headed to race 2 between CaptStack and SoberLyte. We,
Absolutely right, you are. This is a rebound opportunity for CaptStack here with SoberLyte taking the first victory.
yes, and I am Vincent RTA, joined by Crane, who's going to be joining us for comms for this second race.
Man, thank you.
Thank you for hopping on and making it less lonely.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Looking forward to
Well,
working
that
with you.
first round, which was great, but here we are. We're going to have hopefully a closer race this time. Last time the CaptStack's routing choices seemed to hurt him. I mean, you were watching Crane. What do you think?
Yeah, it was that unfortunate decision, which led SoberLyte to get very quite a bit earlier than CaptStack was going to find it. So, but no gonna rando. That's what happens.
Yeah, and it didn't even seem like the normal damage reduction part of it mattered all that much. It had everything to do with sorry, the it not being hell run required. It was all about the damage reduction and going to Fantoon early in that last one.
Yeah. Doing suitless Fantoon is never fun. Even when you seem like you have a lot of energy, it disappears quick. And we have ourselves a criteria landing site start, as the settings for this are pretty much all vanilla, major minor, with the exception of random bosses, which random bosses can really add to the calculus, especially in vanilla map, it seems. Can open up different routing options for, if you find Dragon, you can kind of do the Batoon skip and come in backwards through East Meridia.
All right, so we are in major minor, and we have our first major item showing up as we have CaptStack picking up those high jump boots.
Nice find there.
That, of course, is going to make picking up the item in the next room much easier.
Yeah, it's always nice to have high jump boots for the taco tank / morph ball location. The taco ball. Right, a little bit of ammo here. Supers are always nice. Lack of any power bombs means we're not getting any extra checks. I think CaptStack just skipped alpha missiles, which it's only going to be a minor down there, but that might be a consequential minor. And indeed, power bombs and alpha missiles.
Sorry, everyone on the syncing. I'm just trying to. It's just Crane and I, so I'm trying to get that all synced up while I'm.
Vincent's got a little extra workload too, doing the tracking. He's the hero of the show today. I'm just here for color commentary.
God, I can't use my usual mods or trackers of the MVP because that'd be a little self indulgent.
That's all right. I wouldn't blame you. You deserve it.
Tracking these can be tough if players have a lot of resets. So we've seen a lot of full countdown during this tournament. Do you want to kind of talk about what major minor means?
Yeah, sure. Major minor splits the item pools in the way it randomizes items to where it keeps majors at what are major locations in vanilla. So, and that also includes E-tanks and reserve tanks. So this will probably be an energy-rich seed. I have a feeling our runners won't have a hard time finding, E-tanks and reserve tanks. Whereas full countdown splits the items in any location. So you can have majors where minors were in vanilla. Tends to make the seeds a little more easier to kind of suss out your item checks. Like you can skip a lot of minor locations when you're not in an ammo hunt. And it definitely changes the calculus for our runners.
CaptStack trying to get through this Alcatraz escape. What I was talking about earlier. This is one of those tricks you kind of got to learn if you're gonna try to do any of these speed runs. This is a lot of inputs very quickly, especially that last jump where you have to wall jump and press down all at the same, like basically within milliseconds of each other, so you can finish the wall jump, morph, and get through. And you see SoberLyte just makes it look easy. What in the first attempt?
Yeah, yeah. Alcatraz is like the probably the first hard trick that most runners are going to tackle, and it is definitely tricky.
Yeah, I remember there was a oh wow, that's a
beam.
big find. We pick up plasma early.
Mm-hmm. And we see CaptStack headed back down here for his. I think he realized he missed alpha missiles, and without finding any explosives in the top criteria that he could get to, thinking he's wisely deciding that this was a skip he probably shouldn't have done.
Alpha missiles, skipping alpha missiles is something CaptStack did earlier in the tournament, and it completely cost. Yep, you can see he's shaking his head. He's gonna. I'm gonna bring that one up with him later in the interview and just be like, "Hey, look, alpha missiles again!" Like, and what it is he's both times he just forgot about it, so he ended up not going back and getting them.
Yeah, I've absolutely done that before. I remember for certain there was one seed where I skipped alpha missiles and it was speed booster there, which it just made the rest of the seed really brutal for me.
Yeah, I think in Captain and Stacks it was space jump. And that was I think the only worst room in the game logic, other than having to execute the spring ball jump, which is incredibly hard.
Yeah, space jump can be a required progression item.
I know
Usually
for me,
a comfort item, but it's can be very consequential.
I know for me, well, and also just the speed in the movement, like because it makes so many areas easier to traverse. Some areas, like criteria power bombs, you immediately get to access that area versus having to search around and look, it being a much harder access.
Right. And SoberLyte coming up on, I believe, the last major of this green side of Green Brinstar. Just an energy tank. Gotta imagine we're gonna see an Edekin's Pit skip here. Yep. Not gonna visit the little fuzzy critters this particular trip. I assume they're fuzzy. I don't know. They might be no smooth.
SoberLyte just forget those missiles. I'm not worried about those right now.
Right.
Gonna go for this with that plasma. Wow, just makes side hoppers just melt to that plasma beam. Oh, this is I guess with high jump this is probably a little bit easier. That's a little bit harder setup on getting that gate glitch, but gets it on the second try, and there's wave.
Wave locked wave. Nice.
That's kind of like, it's kind of fitting, right? Like that's perfect.
There's some irony in there for sure.
Love
Yeah.
love finding that beam though, because there's so many movement things that just become, there's so many areas that, you know, like getting to Croc is easier, getting to a lot of different areas opens up, and
Right.
Wave, you know, being able to shoot through things, it's kind of nice. SoberLyte looks at that trash can and is like, no. No taco, no reserve tank. You are not my friend today.
Right. Personally, I think it might be a little early to start skipping a reserve tank, but to each their own.
I would pick up at least one, because I've actually seen the I've seen reserve tanks be the difference in a runner dying or not. Oh, we just got vanilla E at Waterway.
Yeah, absolutely. Reserve tanks have a little more utility than just being an extra tank. You know, it's more than just 99 health. There's some instances where you can do some tomfoolery with reserve abuse and, you know, save your bacon.
Well, you can also be a little bit more aggressive at times. Like, you can play a little bit more reckless, you know, where, like, you know, the other day I was covering a runner who just literally ran without regard for his life.
Sounds like Sasquatch. I think I watched that match.
That was Sasquatch. So that counter on the top left-hand side tells us how many of the major locations. So it's kind of like full countdown, but just a little bit more focused, which is kind of nice. It means that we're not like, you know, the bonus of full countdown is once you see 0 on the top left-hand corner, you're done with an area, at least for the majors. You know, you might want to go on an E-tank hunt. The bonus to this, however, is that, you know, and this is why maybe skipping the reserve is okay, that you're able to make a few more skips than you could, because, you know, E-tanks, there's times I've seen runners have to go on an E-tank hunt, not even a super hunt, in full countdown, but that's not really the issue here.
Yeah, so to answer chat's question, yeah, the miners such as ammo, power bombs, things like that, won't be included on that counter. It's the unique upgrade items and tanks is the only thing included on the counter.
Yep. So E-tanks, if I'm correct, it's also reserve tanks, right?
Yeah,
Reserve tanks. E-tanks, reserve tank locations, and the major items, aka the 16 items we see in our tracker, the 14 items in the tracker and the 2 items in the HUD. So X-ray and grapple.
We see Stack picking up a lot of these miners that SoberLyte was choosing not to. That actually could be consequential later in the race. We'll have to see where we find Charge Beam at.
All right, SoberLyte's going to check this high jump boot location, and it's a reserve tank. Doesn't seem pleased with that.
Right. Hey, tank's a tank. I don't recommend scoffing at reserve tanks.
All right, Stack is going for this.
Nice, first try.
Very nice. And gets his wave. We're rewarded with that wave beam. The bonus to this, the major miner, is that you do see some areas get some checks you might not normally see. Like, not everyone, like Waterway is a major location that we don't see very often in full countdown. Like, that's kind of like a total last reserve. Like, yeah, if I really have to, fine, I will. But in this in Major Minor, it's checked way more often because it is a location that's almost that might have something that's required. We know Stack doesn't know that right now. It's just an E-tank, but that is definitely one of the differences between the two of the most common types of seeds we've seen in the randomizers lately.
I think I feel like Major Minor also has a tendency to put some more of the bad major checks kind of in logic, or make them required, like Shack Tool and Plasma. Wreck Ship Reserve is another one of those potentially bad checks if you don't have Speed Booster.
I think I swear the logic on some of them, they try to make they force the runners to it. Yeah. Like the seeds are trying to be evil.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these season races logic Major Minors where Varia is at Shack.
Ooh. We have a quick reset there from SoberLyte, who finds Ridley very early.
Ridley at Crade. I think that came up in the race room.
The runners actually said there's a 50-50 shot to see Ridley at Crade. The Crade shows up half the time. Or sorry, that Ridley shows up in Crade's room half the time. That's not wrong. I swear that is the exact math.
Yep.
Way more often than he should.
Yeah, 50% of the time it's that, 100% of the time.
All right. Stack is now waving goodbye to Green Bryn. There's the one major in Red Bryn for both runners, but we know where that is, and we do not have the logical access to it, but the runners certainly could.
I mean, with
actually,
Space Jump.
SoberLyte does have it with Space Jump, yes. So he can go check X-Ray right now. If you got it, you might as well, and is going to.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's too important of a check to skip right now. You're still missing both suits, charge beam. There's a lot of really consequential items that could be hiding over here. Yeah, that Stack getting that space jump. Let's see if our X-ray check pays off. Bombs is a nice find.
Bombs does potentially open up some extra locations. But two and Red Bryn both being majors and not both E-tanks or reserves. That's better than we normally get.
Yeah. Yeah, having space jump already makes bombs a little less consequential. However, there's a lot of soft luck mitigation and a lot of good utility out of bombs. I don't ever turn my nose up at them.
No, and even with 3 power bomb packs, it's still sometimes it's a little bit in the areas where you have to use it to move. It's a little bit easier to just go, hey, I'm gonna just use bombs here instead of blowing my power bombs because I only got 1 or 2 left. And you mentioned soft lock. It makes getting out of lower Norfair, getting out of Ridley's lair a little bit easier.
Right.
Stack did take the save in the factory here ahead of time, so is not going to have to reset as far.
Right.
But it looks like SoberLyte's heading up, and we might be headed to wreck ship here. Still no suits for either player. Yep, Stack sees it's Ridley and mashes that reset button. No shame in that plan.
Yeah, that's a highly ill-advised fight.
So criteria, we got one major location left the players have watched, and that is Gauntlet. And yep, it looks like I was wondering if SoberLyte was going to head towards Gauntlet. That question's quickly answered. Oh, I love the I love the GameCube ship. I think that's one I haven't seen too often.
Right. A cube-shaped ship that isn't a Borg cube. Although, I mean, we've got the Enterprise is an available ship. Why can't we get a Borg cube?
That would make sense because we have the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
SoberLyte being as careful as possible through this location. All right, we got grapple. That's worth grabbing.
Yeah, nice utility beam. That gives you a convenient Dragon kill if we don't find charge before we find Dragon, and also the well-known farming abilities of the grapple beam.
Yes, as I call them, the true intended strats, and even Nintendo Power mentioned grapple beam as farming.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got involved with the speedrun community of this game that I even knew that grapple beam could pick up items, or really even kill enemies. I don't even think I knew that.
It's awesome watching some of the runners who are super comfortable with it, where they can
use it for movement,
farm while moving.
Oh yeah,
and like one of the best watching when Zenny executes his second Metroid room, he gets the kill as he's falling and is switching over and farming with grapple as he's moving through the room. It's insane, but it's like because it's like probably 30 inputs in like less than 5 seconds. But
yeah, that sounds like a very Zenny thing to do.
Right. I remember one of the GDQs, his Metroid rooms that GDQ were like, everyone was going nuts because of how insane they were. One of the fastest Metroid room, even for him, it was one of his fastest Metroid room sequences he'd ever had.
Yeah, well executed Metroid rooms they're indistinguishable from Magic.
Especially when you got that perfect ice switch, ice switching to the super shot, and making it happen, making it look like it's almost a task.
Careful, Stack. Those spikes don't mess around when you ain't got any suits.
All right. SoberLyte giving us our first fight that someone's going to actually go through with. And is this? Yeah, this is vanilla Phantoon.
Mm-hmm. Which in boss rando is always nice to find Phantoon in the ship.
All right. That picks up those bombs. The runners have an equal tracker right now. So it's just a matter of some information and time. We're seeing, Stack is having much better routing this time around. It had some interesting choices early, but now is definitely on the right track now.
Yeah, it looks like we're still haven't really seen a lot of divergence yet. Stack just a few steps behind.
No, we definitely don't have enough E for any of the hell runs to be in logic, so very likely we'll see Stack head up to Wreck Ship as well.
Yeah, I think with 4 tanks on medium difficulty, it puts the Bubble to Croc hell run in logic, but that's the only one aside from crossing, Frog Speedway and Bubble Mountain.
Well, yeah, I mean both players already have speed, so access to Bubble Mountain is there.
Mm-hmm. But with Phantoon being here at the ship, I think Wreck Ship is definitely the right play.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seems like it's trying to push the players toward. So we're gonna have a few quick checks here. We will probably see the right side E checked, because that is one of the major locations. We'll definitely see this. That what is the technically the Fantoon reward, since the room doesn't lead to anything else.
No right side supers, yeah.
Yep. All right, want to welcome SpeedGaming 3, rating us with a party of 41. I'm Vincent RTA, joined by Crane, and we are covering this second race between CaptStack and SoberLyte in the end of our first round of the Choozo Randomizer races. We have our second round matches already being planned as those runners are finished up. We're gonna have more of those coming up soon, but this is finishing off that first round. Both runners obviously wanted to, had some things going on with the holidays.
Yeah, it's a busy time of year.
It is, and having a tournament run through it makes it a little bit more difficult, but here we are, and it's kind of a nice time, well, at least for me, because I'm off today, so that's a bonus.
Ooh, just missed that spark on the gauntlet entrance. We're gonna get the gauntlet check out of stack here.
And SoberLyte is headed to that right side E tank here.
Through the aptly named spiky room of death.
Yes, this room hurts, and no suits. This room hurts a lot worse. So I don't blame SoberLyte at all for taking this slow and being careful, because he's gonna have to come back through there, and there's no way to farm, or no place to farm. And even this next check, well, if anything goes wrong with a space jump and he falls, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, they are the baby spike variants down here at the bottom of this water-filled room, so I think they only do 30 damage rather than 60. But yeah, just playing around down there it's never a good time.
All right, so SoberLyte finds X-ray at the normal E-tank location, so we're a charge beam away from the microwave beam. Kind of hope we see that before we get to Batoon or Dragon, but who knows what the seed will hold. That's the fun part of randomizers, you never know. Yep, and Stack is gonna head over here to wreck ship now. Oh, spiky room of death doing some damage.
Yeah, thankfully avoided the damage from the Kazan, that platform with spikes on it there.
All right, now I would be very shocked if we don't see a full clear. There's no reason not to here, with there being still 2 majors left. And now that he has X-ray, and quickly check the reserve tank location, but still both items are after bowling. So I doubt he'll even check the right side here. Will likely just misses, gets that spark, but that
kind
button
of an addict spark.
That button input can be tough. Very easy to when you've got that shine queued up to prematurely jump.
Yeah, doing mid-air horizontal sparks it's more complicated than you would assume. Another one of the areas where regular bombs comes in nice just for comfort. I think with 4 power bombs he would have had enough to full clear back here, but just barely. But having bombs, you don't have to worry about getting soft lock back here or anything.
Base jump makes this room much safer to traverse.
Yeah, we did see a death in there in the first race.
Yeah, Stack went in with not nearly enough energy the first time around, and got locked behind the the door, so couldn't even get any kind of momentum.
Yeah, and it's a shame too, because I think he realized right after he went through the door that he didn't have enough energy. But yeah, once you go through that door and past the orange gamer, you're committed.
All right, that was a nice Doppler by Stack there. Phantoon being difficult and going over the top that time. Look at that reserve tank energy coming in clutch. You know what? That actually Stack with 3 regular tanks and 2 reserves. He has more than enough to move around Lower Norfair even without Varia. But wow, the ship is going to give another couple E-tanks as Stack goes to clear this, as we see SoberLyte picks up 2 E-tanks from those 2 locations.
Yeah, Copper Wreck ship was kind of a bust.
So right now, that's our difference in the race is that, you know, the clearing a wreck ship.
I don't see Captain Stack skipping this clear. I think he would be fine if he did. I don't know if those 2 E-tanks would be that much of a difference on where he goes and what he does after this. But would definitely be a cosmic brain time save. I think the problem with skipping wreck ship, or at least the problem I have with it, is you're always in the back of your mind until you get, you know, the items you actually need. You're always wondering, did I skip something important there?
Yeah, and you know, what if you left, you know, like last seed? What if you skipped it and you left gravity behind?
And being major minor, you don't get any help from the counter, so.
No, because all 5 could be E-tanks. Or all 3 of these items. We know they are. But yeah, they're all 3 of them are E-tanks.
2 E-tanks and X-ray.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, 2 E-tanks and the shenanigans beam.
A little less shenanigans legal in these tournaments, but no going out of bounds. But I have seen some X-ray climbs happen.
Yeah, X-ray climbs. G mode is technically legal, but it's usually ill-advised. If you're doing G mode in a race, you're probably already done something else really wrong. I mean, maybe in like a hardway tournament or hardway race, you know, G mode might actually be useful.
I'd love to watch something like that where it's like all potential advanced techniques are required. Go.
Yeah, they kind of did. They had a little hardway tournament. It was pretty casual that Iron Rusty and System of Vibrant Colors put on.
Okay.
And I did see several seeds where people did G mode into the back of LN. I know Junie did it at least once, I think twice in races.
Yeah, some of those runners, you know, the ones in particular you just mentioned, I've seen them do some things in this game that are just extra stupid, like stupid hard. Oh no! Oh well. I wonder if
living up to its name.
I wonder if Stack will at this point just skip that X-ray and move forward.
I think there's a fair chance. He's probably wondering the same thing himself right now, though.
And yeah, is gonna skip it. I think that's probably what I do. As much as I would love to have the microwave beam, or you know, we're already past Phantoon, so you got it for Botspoon and Dragon, but if you have good super execution, or you know, if you end up a charged plasma, you can still make fairly quick work of Dre. And if you end up a grapple, you know, you still got some checks. If you get grapple before Dre, you still have a quick kill there.
Screw attack on SoberLyte's side. That's a nice find.
Very nice find before we have to go check lower Norfair.
I like the Norfair reserve check first here too. With screw attack or with a space jump, it's pretty quick work in and out.
So where are our suits? If I were Frozen, I'd be saying, "Where's my super suit?" Like,
right. I'm starting to lean a little more towards thinking we got something good at Croc.
You know what? I would love that. Always bet on Croc.
I mean, with this much energy, these checks that SoberLyte are doing are in logic. So very well could be here at Speed or Wave or Warfare Reserve. Actually, I think with this energy could be Cathedral too. Now that I'm curious, I'm gonna actually look at the logic for that.
I'm gonna feel very vindicated if Varia is at Croc.
Let's see, Warfare entrance to Cathedral missiles.
Oh,
Medium is 11 tanks.
So Speed gives us gravity. You know what? I'm gonna bet even more that Croc probably is holding Varia.
Yeah,
Now the only thing that slows down the heat damage is the Varia.
Yeah, they run balanced suits for this tournament, not the progressive.
So Stack, having checked the reserve, wait, what's he doing? You know that's an E-tank up there.
Oh, maybe he wants to check the ammo back here. Or maybe he wants the E-tank. Maybe he's thinking about, you know, this Upper Norfair business.
Wow.
Very at Wave.
Okay.
Looks like... Oh, I was thinking maybe SoberLyte was going to head over and do Remembered Highway down to LN. At this point, that lava dive, I think, is still out of logic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the high jump lava dive is not in medium logic. So Croc still could have gravity.
Well, gravity we found.
Oh.
Gravity was speed.
Right.
So Croc could have charge. Or ice.
Yeah, I think I was tuned out looking at the logic when you picked up gravity. At this point, routing wise, I think I would probably want to do LN first.
I would agree, so you can go down and come up and not have to revisit it. All right, SoberLyte's about to check ice.
This kind of makes sense to check ice, and then you can take the lower route, the southern route, down to LN entrance.
The crumble shaft.
And you got all the cool movement items for the hundo strats. Skipping that tank.
So Stack is going back for this X-ray. Maybe he's planning on going down for... The other entrance to Meridian?
You know, without gravity, it really wouldn't make much sense. If it was, you know, area rando, checking that transition would be wise, but don't know, going backdoor full Subless Meridia is it's slow. I mean, he's got high jump and space jump, so you know, theoretically you could make it work.
We are going to see a croc check. Dak needs to be careful there. Just took a lot of damage come through there. Bike Room of Death is no joke. I would not be firing with regular missiles at all on Croc.
No.
There he goes. Croc is down.
And there's our charge.
And Croc has charge. All right.
I dare say SoberLyte probably won't stick around to check that other major.
No, I at this point, we are go mode. Well, oh yeah, has to get through the rest of this animation.
Yeah, you only get the quick exit and area rando.
Probably the most brutal death in all of video game history, or Croc.
It's pretty not kid friendly. It's probably enough to draw an M rating from the association.
Certainly sad when, you know, all Croc's doing is hanging out in his home, just trying to, you know, live a better life. And in comes this intruder. And what does she do? She murders you. Pushes you into a vat of ice or of acid.
Yeah, she's just giving him a bath and helping him take a nap. That's all.
I'd say a long dirt nap, but she doesn't. Or he doesn't even get that. He gets his bones piled up on the floor.
I've always been curious what comes along and takes the rest of his bones, though, and moves the skull. Like, Samus has only gone out of the room for a short period of time. Is it the Edicoons that run over there and rob his grave?
It's probably, and this is going way out there, probably Snoopy coming in to munch on the bones. Because if you think about it, when you watch the Snoopy Christmas special, and this is horrifying to me, someone mentioned this, really look at it, he's eating like 37 human femurs. So I can see Snoopy coming in chowing down on some Croc bones.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. SoberLyte missing that space jump through the door there.
Got it last time.
Not an issue, just takes a few extra frames to make it through amphitheater room there. Dak decided he wants to pick up those power bombs for Crystal Flash ammo. Pretty smart. Looks like he might be choosing to do a croc play first. We're heading down here for the energy refill, I'm not sure. Which is not a bad idea. I mean, if you got wave beam, it's probably... it might even be a little faster than farming up all those bugs. Okay, this is a croc play.
Glad to see that charge beam, but we'll be probably regretting now not getting that X. Oh no, never mind. Does have the X-ray. Doesn't have grapple. All right, so we had Bantuna's Vanilla. Ridley was at Kraid. We have Dragon or Kraid here at Ridley. What do we think?
Thinking Kraid. Kraid usually likes to hang out and lower north.
Those two seem to swap quite a bit.
And it is Dragon.
Nope, we got Dragon. Who's going to be Dragon with that microwave beam as long as SoberLyte knows that execution.
I bet he does. Looks like he might want to show off some speed strats though. Also, I have gotten here and completely forgot that I had microwave capability.
I'm surprised he didn't crouch.
Yeah. The crouch helps, but honestly, there's also a really good audio cue. So if you're listening, you can hear the grapple sound. That means Dre's dead.
There we go. If anyone's listening and not sure what I'm talking about, if you crouch, if you have Samus crouch and you go to execute that microwave beam, and you once she's actually dead, Samus will stand up, so it's kind of a visual cue to know, hey, it's done.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's coded in to where when Dragon dies, it forces Samus into a standing pose, that's actually why she gets the blue suit when you do the Shine Spark kill. Because you're in Shine Spark pose, and as soon as Dre dies, it forces Samus into a standing pose. And that's when the game kind of freaks out, and usually when the game gets confused, that's how it reacts, is giving Samus the blue suit.
Hopefully Stack with all this E will figure out, hey, you know what? It probably wants me to do a Hell Run, because all those suits are in Hell Run locations. At this point, you don't need any more ammo, or pretty much any more ammo.
Yeah, Charge Wave Plasma, it's a pretty substantial beam combination.
SoberLyte coming through here with pretty much Undo item layout, just missing that ice beam, so this is easy. It's gonna be E, reserve, or yep, it's a reserve. Only a couple items left that we could potentially find, but these last lower north air checks, they're not really going to be seen here. Those items that we would normally see runners check in a full countdown just to get extra ammo or maybe another E-tank, not necessary here, especially with what SoberLyte already has.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, it's just straight on till daylight.
Yep, we'll likely hit factory on the way and go take out Kraid. Or sorry, take out Ridley at Kraid's factory first, and then head on up and go to Dragon's location to take down Kraid and be done, and on his way to Turian. Meanwhile, Stack is here checking the ice location. It's just an E-tank, but without that Varia, that'll be bonus fine because it'll be a refill on the way. Not sure how comfortable he is with that iceless ice escape.
Kind of curious to see if Stack goes for the cathedral route here. I mean, it's only minor, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. now that I say that.
Nope, just needs to go to Frog Speedway and head over there to Bubble Mountain. Similar to what we saw SoberLyte doing. And yeah, I did make the call. SoberLyte is going to go for Ridley first.
Yeah, this makes sense. Routing wise, that's the closest you're going to be to Kraid's Lair coming up from Norfair.
Yeah, otherwise you're backtracking, where getting out of Meridia and headed to Criteria is much faster.
Going for the charge beam variation of this fight. Could have chose to farm up supers from the mini Kraid on his way in. This fight can get a little trolly when you're doing the charge beam fight with wave spacer or wave plasma. This is Ridley's tail really likes to eat charge shots.
The AI programming in this game for something 30 plus years ago was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, that flowchart of Ridley's AI that's floating around out there, so it's kind of a fun read. A dead Ridley. It appears that he counted his charge shots correctly.
Hey, a nice free refill here from a vanilla E-tank.
Also gives him stand-up energy with that tank.
The only movement options we can't do the reverse slinky, and we can't do the YOLO baby skip. That's really the only things we're missing here.
No ice beam, so probably be power bombing our way through some Metroids. And I don't know if speed skip is in Sober's repertoire, the speed Zeb skip.
Last race chose to just plow through with missiles, so not sure it's there.
Yeah.
That's a difficult short charge and difficult move. Getting a little bit of a freeze from X side. Well, the Marcus Gravity, because he should have it by now in real time.
Doing the missile strat on the Zebs would put him kind of close on ammo for MB1 with just the 20 and 20. So he may want to pick up another super pack or two if he comes across them.
Yeah. No, thank you. Turns his nose at that spacer. No reason to pick that up when you already got charge wave plasma.
And not checking the item in the wall there makes me kind of wonder if he's thinking about, or if he's put any thought into that ammo requirement for the Endotorian.
Yes, the space laser, the spacer. It does have a cool name, but not as cool of a beam as plasma.
Some microwave Batoon action. Some
Oh,
technical issues on CaptStack's side. Hopefully we'll get
just
that back
misses
shortly.
that. He wouldn't have got the full halfie, but he would have the halfie.
Yeah, I mean, if Spazer's such a bad beam, then why did they pick it up in the world record route? I guess objectively that makes it the faster beam.
Could be.
Not enough supers for the quick kill. Going for the that's gonna be one super 9 missile strat. That'd be 10, wouldn't it? I don't know. I can't math.
Yes, it'd be 10.
I don't know if that turnaround in the Craig's room there was thinking about checking the major.
So it's something on his stream is running on his channel, but for some reason it's frozen here. Yes, this is SpeedGaming side.
Yeah, Sober's still not checking anything. Wonder if that those go mode items got him maybe a little bit of a false sense of security. I mean, you can absolutely go with this ammo. I don't like it because you're only a few snipe supers away from soft locking and Torian.
Just doing a quick reset on CaptStack side to try to fix this.
Looks like he did indeed find both suits. And the screw attack. Back hidden in for his pre-Dragon farm room here, which he probably won't farm up too much. He's sitting pretty good on energy and ammo.
All right, we get him back in time to see his Dragon fight, taking Dragon down.
Okay. SoberLyte decided to check some ammo here in Alpha PVs, so I feel better now.
2 super packs there is very nice.
Yeah, I think once he got the last boss down, he probably started thinking about Torian and realizing, hey, this ammo situation is not spectacular.
Not quite the full beam combo, but pretty close. Missing ice, how many shots are we looking at?
I think it's 24 without ice. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm sure chat knows.
Asher confirms 24 versus 20. Ice is the least difference. Yeah, ice is more about the effect than the damage.
Yeah, it's a utility beam.
Because if you just have ice, more often than not, you're turning it off because it makes a lot of things 2 shots instead of 1.
Yeah. And hopefully remember to turn it back on when you get the Torian.
It's usually I see that's an elevator move. Turning off space jump and turning off screw attack and turning on ice.
And honestly, I think the one I'm more likely to forget is if you get ice real early. And I've done this myself, and I've seen a couple other runners do it. You know, you get it in like real early games, so you turn it off, and then you forget that you don't have Batoon, or you forget that you have Batoon access.
Yeah, the only other time you really need it, well, might need it, is if you have to do that ice clip. This runner seemed pretty this race for the most part, this was extremely linear.
Well, major minor, I think, kind of, especially vanilla area, major minor kind of definitely increases the chances of linear seeds. But this one feels like fairly friendly progression speed too.
Yeah, I guess this was not faster, but faster. You know, this is definitely not slow progression.
Yeah, or just a really fortunate variable.
Stack definitely picked up a lot more ammo along the way. I'm guessing Shack Tool. I'm gonna guess Shack Tool was holding ice.
Probably a fair bet.
Either that or actual vanilla spring ball.
I think we also didn't see Plasma this seed or GT.
Yeah. So a couple of other major locations. Yeah, there were 2 lower Neurofair locations we didn't check out. Yeah, and we didn't see Plasma. So there were still plenty of locations, but I just always guess that Shack's holding something in these because it seems every single time there's something that Shack is gatekeeping and keeping from appearing in the seed.
SoberLyte just flying right through Dusty there. Not even trying to save him. Damage down off his hopper for the baby skip. Could use the iframe cancel from screw attack to speed up that damage down a little bit.
Does not turn right, so loses the 40 frames. Always turn right.
It'd be fun to see a race where that actually made the difference. And, you know, vanilla categories, I could definitely see it being a thing. Randomizer is usually a little more separation. It'd be cool to see a randomizer race come down to that.
Yeah, I would agree. Any race, like especially watching some of the, you know, maybe a couple of people running any percent, and it comes down to something that small.
Yeah, we've seen some really tight 80% races. I think it was Zost's marathon. I think MGA beat Sloters by the Leodox Moonfall.
Wow.
which was spectacular to see. You know, Sloters.
Because Sloters is a never moonfall
camp.
Yeah.
That whole race was really great to watch. Had Hockey Towner on comms, and I think it was. I know Zenny was in it and had a pretty decent lead in LN and ended up taking a death at the Key Hunter stairs. Or not the Key Hunter stairs, the Three Musketeers.
I also remember seeing a four-way where Zenny was like everything was really close, and all the runners had to do execute a CWJ or an horizontal bomb jump to get across mode, and then somehow Zenny gravity skipped.
Yeah, gravity skip is a thing. It's not something you see often. Most players, especially the 80% runners, you know, they're familiar with how to avoid that, but it does happen.
Yeah, so he had to go back all the way through, do bowling again, and obviously in any kind of race situation, that's just way too much time. That was kind of the whole race for him. But I think that was I think it was Zenny, Zost, Oates, and Behemoth. Not those four names that any of us in the Super Metroid community know at all.
Yeah, who were those guys?
All right, Sober.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, he did make it through Mother Brain 1 with only 2 supers left.
Yeah, that was close. So yeah, he definitely had to do that farming, but
yeah, and the making that detour to check Alpha PBs and both super packs being there, that was very
clutch
with this check.
Coming up clutch in the end. That's a low missile count for Stack. He's gonna have to farm up.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to fight Kraid here. He's got charge. Actually, he's got microwave for bot twin.
Oh, he does have microwave for bot twin. Never mind. I forgot. Yep.
Yeah, those ammo considerations going into a bot twin fight are definitely a big deal, though. I've definitely plowed into that room with less ammo than I should have, and realized it once I got in the room. Kind of anxiety-inducing.
as he microwaves the snake. We've got Mother Brain getting taken down by this rainbow beam by SoberLyte on the right-hand side. So, SoberLyte has been running for a bit. I've seen SoberLyte in a few tournaments. This is CaptStack's first tournament. So, there's definitely a difference in experience here. And, some skill difference. You're looking at SoberLyte's movement. It's a little bit cleaner. These are things CaptStack, he's going to fix over time. And we'll get there. And you can see there's already like... it's SoberLyte's second. Okay, yeah, and even just that one tournament experience, that's a lot.
It helps.
You maybe learn what you need to practice between the first one and the second one. What kind of things you're going to face. And SoberLyte's doing showing a great job. He's going to have a sub 112 here.
Yeah, this is looking mid 111 for sure.
That Varia randomizer tournament, that last one there was a lot of lessons learned in that one. Last time up parlor, onto the surface. Gonna step through the door and get those GGs ready. A SoberLyte finishes with an official race time GG of 1:10:56. Even got the sub 111.
Yeah, GG's.
Very nice. GG to SoberLyte. Does take the win in this tournament. Well, unfortunately for Stack, not came out, but as we were just saying, this is the first time through. It's definitely a learning experience.
Yeah, no, he did well. He should be proud of his performance.
All right, so SoberLyte's, we're getting the scrolling. Maybe we'll see. It'll look to see if we can find where that ice beam was.
I'm more curious about Spring Ball.
It looks like Stack's computer crashed, so he's gonna join us on his phone. But we do have SoberLyte in now. Sober, congrats and GG.
Hey, thanks, man. GG's.
Really, routing in the first race was definitely the big difference. And this one, it was a lot of like good movement, good decisions. It looked like a really well-run race for you.
Yeah, no, second one flowed pretty good with the routing. First one, I got lucky because I doubled back to Brinstar to get the Varia suit. It just happened to be on charge beam, so
yeah,
definitely lucky.
That was definitely the big separator between you and Stack in the first one, was that Varia location. As he did not go back for it for a long time.
Sober, how many tournaments have you done?
This is actually my second.
This is your second. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
We are now joined by Stack. Stack, this is your first, correct?
Yes, this is my first tournament. Definitely something that I was looking forward to, and also something that I was somewhat expecting to have a little bit of a rough time with it right off the bat. But definitely still glad that I went in for this, because it was definitely a lot of fun through and through, I gotta say.
Ice was at Plasma, so we were not going to see that this game.
Nope.
Yeah,
And
with
Spring
ice
Ball
in
was
that
pure
last one.
attack.
Of
Spring,
course.
yes.
Yeah, with ice in that last one, it's one of those things where, like, if I hit go mode minus ice, I'm gonna check anything that's like right on path on my way to the end. But anything that far of the way, it's by no means critical for me. It's just I prefer the movement through the Metroid rooms with ice and nice zeb skip and such.
So Stack, I noticed you doubled back and had to go back and check alpha missiles again.
Oh yes. So on that, you know how like in life you make such colossal mistakes that you tell yourself, "I'm never going to make that mistake again ever," and then about a month later you make the exact same mistake all over again.
Yeah, can't relate. Have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like-
of course.
like checking Kraid, even though you know Ridley's going to be there.
Oh,
Because
of
we
course.
literally talked
Yeah.
about it before we started the race. Like Ridley's going to be there. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, we were chatting about that in the race room, that it's like in Pokemon, where if a move says it is 90% accurate, it hits about 20% of the time, and that's how Ridley is at grade location. It's a 1 in 4 chance, and it happens 90% of the time.
Seems to be that way, like more often than not. And that I swear the most of the time with random bosses we see what we see, where Ridley's at Kraid and Fantoon is vanilla.
Yep. I mean, I was definitely glad to see Fantoon up there, because that was like pretty much all I was banking on. And I'm like, yeah, there's 4 majors in Wrecked Ship. There's got to be a suit of some sort up here. And it's like, nope, here's all of the E-tanks. Welcome to Hellruns. Like, really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It seemed to be clearly laying out to that, and that was another big part of the difference to Sober. Once you realized it and you had it, you went right for that speed and wave check.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the medium difficulty, and I think the easier ones as well. I believe the Vario randomizer says if you have a healthy amount of E-tanks, Hellrun is required, more or less.
Yeah.
So
and
as soon
that's-
as I had like 5 E-tanks, I'm like, all right, I'm going. So
Yeah, and that's something that I knew about, but I kind of like avoided thinking about that, because like one of the main reasons I've stuck with medium difficulty, like there's stuff in hard that I'd be capable of doing. It's just I don't like trying to compute E-tanks versus hell runs on the fly in a race setting. And something casual, sure, but in a race setting, I prefer something like SMRAT, where it's just like you're guaranteed to find a Varia before any hell runs are expected. But yeah, with these settings, it's like just kind of crossing your fingers, and then you get up to Wreck Ship, and it's like 3 E-tanks dumped in your lap. I'm like, well,
yep.
Yeah, and it's hard with all the different difficulty settings in this tournament, especially to try to memorize energy requirements for hell runs.
yeah,
So I can understand. I tend to
Like,
think
I-
about it as like you get enough energy, where you really start to feel comfortable with it. 7-8 tanks or something
oh
like
yeah.
that. It's probably time to check the Bubble Mountain area.
Yeah, for sure. And like with this one, like I was in bowling, but by the time I realized that, like, okay, I see what's happening here. But it's not really the kind of thing where you can just duck out right in the middle of something like that and get down to Norfair quick. It's just
Yeah.
like I'm on the other side of the map at this point.
Yeah. But it makes sense in that situation to go ahead and clear the ship, and if you find Fantoon there, it definitely kind of wants to push you that direction.
Yeah. And especially with like finding space jump and grapple, I think, before Wreck Ship, it's like, okay, it seems like it's pointing at Wreck Ship, but that still came up dry.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I'm on the always bet on Croc plan, and Croc was charged. And
It was.
and a quick early exit for you guys after getting it, so definitely a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a very ammo-friendly seed up front, so finding that charge early,
Yeah.
at least is definitely nice.
It was
Sober,
at least
fine.
more comfortable. What's up?
Oh, go ahead, Stack.
I was just going to say, it was, aside from the initial lack of bombs leading me to head back to Alpha for the first set of PBs, it was a more comfortable seed than the first one with like really late bombs or whatever it was. There's some kind of ammo that first seed was just missing for the longest time. Yeah, I think it was bombs, because like I ended up doing like an extra loop of Criteria and Brinstar, just desperately hoping that one of those outlying checks would be some kind of bombs, and it's like, nope. And now all those other things that are bomb locked are not accessible, so this is really not worth your time.
Yeah. I think about the only other thing I wanted to talk about was I started to get kind of concerned, like mid to late game, watching SoberLyte running just kind of YOLOing through the rest of the boss and everything on 2020 ammo. Because I started doing the math, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna missile through the Zebs and then you got MB1, it's like you can do it. But I think you could miss one super and you'd have been soft locked.
Yeah,
So,
it was super
kinda-
sketch.
I
Yeah,
was kind of willing you to check for a little bit more ammo, please.
And then you found those 2 supers and at Alpha Power Bombs, so that kind of solved it for you.
yeah, and I still ended up with what 2 supers.
2
When it
supers.
was all said and done, I missed so many shots. Like, I was just freaking out.
Yeah, especially if you don't have Ice Beam, because those Rinkas at Mother Brain 1,
Yeah,
they complicate the math a lot.
yeah, absolutely. That's why I was hoping to find ice, but it just didn't show up, and I'm like, I ain't going through, all the other East Meridia checks and stuff to go for it. Just go.
All right. Well, Stack, any last thoughts?
Not particularly. I mean, like I said after my first restreamed race, is that like I got into this tournament looking forward to getting knocked out first round. So I'm happy to have fulfilled that that particular goal of mine, and just going into this tournament at all, it's been a blast start to finish. So GG's to SoberLyte. Congrats. Good luck in the next round.
Hey, thanks, man. GG's. Appreciate you. The Crane. Idol's not here anymore. Vincent for the comms, tracking, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Stack, this is your first, SoberLyte your second. Hope to see you both in future tournaments, Stack. But I'm hoping, Stack, that next tournament around, you'll be hopefully tracking one of my races, because I'm going to dive in and I'll have that same feeling of, I hope I just make it through.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I will say, regardless of experience level, it's a ton of fun to compete in these things.
Yes.
Yeah,
really
for
is.
sure.
But yeah, absolutely looking forward to tracking one of your races, Vincent. Good luck. It's a blast, start to finish.
Well, and just in general, the chat, which is really the one of the big MVPs for all these, the community in general is awesome. And every time that we have one of these races, it's reflected in the chat. It's all positive, or just having a good conversation about attacking how the game goes, and then every one of the racers, every one of the commentary and trackers I've worked with have all just been great people. Love the community, which is a big part of the reason why I want to push and join it and run in it. So,
yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
This is also true, Aster. All right. Well, Crane, do you have any last thoughts?
Not really. Just want to say thanks to the runners, thanks to chat, thanks to SpeedGaming for putting all this on, and the admin at the Choozo Randomizer tournament. It's been a blast. I'm glad I can step in and be a part of it in some way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always these are always a great time. Absolutely love these tournaments. Love these events. We will have more coming. This was the last run of the first round, but we do have some second round events scheduled, including on Wednesday we have Count Cranberry versus Nick Player. So that's a second round event. We have Kupo versus Baja Blood that's scheduled on January 3rd. We're going to have others coming in soon that'll be scheduled as the runners are able to figure out when they can. We are heading into round 2 of this tournament, and we'll get closer to that penultimate end. Give these runners a follow. You're watching. You got to watch SoberLyte, who's in the second tournament, and obviously going to be you're continuing to grow and get better and better, and already has shown a lot of improvement over the last event. Stack, who is one of our MVP trackers, tracks for us all the time, but jumped into the fray. And of course, give Crane a follow, and if you feel so inclined, myself a follow. And then hopefully we'll see you guys in these next races. For Crane and for I would normally say for the tracker, but today that was me. For Crane and for the racers, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you all next mission.